about second game of tonight's tournament between the McDowell Trojans and the Harbor Creek Huskies. Jace McKay along with Mark Thorpe. Game 2, about ready to get slated. The host McDowell Trojans, Mark, we get right into it. They're a shorter team this year, but we're looking at a lot of fun and gun with them.
You know, they are definitely a shorter team. I am short. I'll admit it. When you stand next to Harbor Creek, I feel like a midget. Harbor Creek has definite size, and that's their game. Size, size, and size. They're going to control the boards tonight. McDowell has to do the best they can to rebound. Rosetto is going to be a big part of this Harbor Creek offense. McDowell needs to try and limit them. But talking to some of the McDowell players today, they're not really worried about Rosetto. Yeah, they have to keep an eye on him, but they're more worried about Nick Tacone. They say he's a more versatile player and can play both ways on offense and on defense. If the Trojans don't watch him, they could be in trouble. Should have a good one on our hands.
Talking about Nick Tacone, the 6'1 guard, he has incredible agility as he runs the point guard position. Rosetto, the 6'11, he plays forward. They're so big. They have a 6'8 man at center. We'll make our way to the broadcast booth just in time for the introductions.
We at McDowell are committed to the highest level of sportsmanship, fair competition with our opponents. As spectators, please assist in the promotion and achievement of this sportsmanship. Cheer on our young people for a job well done. Tonight's game will host the Harbor Creek High Huskies against the McDowell Trojans. At this time, we would ask that you would rise as we have the singing of our national anthem with three of McDowell finest senior vocalists. They include Allison Rice, Kristen Cipriani, and Jen Ryan.
Well-sized crowd we have here for this crosstown matchup between the Harbor Creek Huskies and McDowell Trojans. Now we'll have the introductions of both Huskies and the Trojans.
Junior guard, number 10, Russ Everland. Another junior playing forward, number 40, Mike Bonham. Junior guard number 20, Craig Gianelli. Junior guard number 21, Kurt Heidegger. Sophomore guard number 23, Dan Orentia. Another sophomore playing forward, number 50, Tim Strissinger. Sophomore guard number 12, Josh Bailey. The starting lineup for tonight's Harbor Huskies includes the following: senior 6'7", Andy Richinger. 6'11", senior number 42, Jason Rosetto. 6'3", junior number 33, playing forward, Pat Doyle. 6'3", junior forward, number 30, Kurt Stepp. Rounding out the lineup for the Huskies, 6'1", junior number 15, playing guard, Nick Tacone. Coached by Michael Bonham with Junior guard number 10, Dennis Bernardi. Also playing guard senior number 15, Dustin Panegetti. The junior forward number 21, Devin Fernando. The junior guard number 22, Joe Vacenti. Senior forward number 23, Chris Burns. Senior guard number 32, Carl Union. Junior center number 34, Ben Miller. Senior guard number 42, Kyle Moore. Junior forward number 50, Matt Ann. And junior forward number 55, Mike Scott. The starting lineup for this year's McDowell Varsity Trojans. Our junior guard, number 511, Dustin Stout. 511 senior guard, number 24, Dave Morris. 511 sophomore guard, number 33, JJ D'Alessandro. The 6'2 senior forward, number 44, Jeff Griesover. And rounding out the lineup for McDowell senior center, 6'2, number 52, Mike Caldwell.
See the 1998 McDowell Trojans, and if a lot of those names sound familiar, they should. D'Alessandro, Caldwell, Finazzo, the list going on and on. Former McDowell talent, and it's rounding out again in this year. Again, as we talked about, it's a short McDowell Trojan teams, but they are going to run the ball up and down the court. They're going to shoot a lot. Justin Schau's back now, his third year starting. He's still only a junior, and that brings up an interesting matchup. It's going to be Schaus taking on Tacombe this evening, and that should be a beautiful display of basketball from a point guard angle.
Yeah, that's a great matchup. You know, the Trojans may be losing up front, but that's a matchup they could win, and they really need to come out and have their guards play well tonight.
It'll be Caldwell and Rossetto to jump from center court against Rossetto, 6'11", going up against Caldwell, listed at 6'2".
Yeah, there's a height difference there.
And McDowell wins the tip. JJ D'Alessandro to start things off. Give it to Justin Schaus to run the offense. There's Dave Comort, senior, number 24, back over to Schaus. Just underway here live on Channel 16, Game 2 of the McDowell McDonald's Tip-Off Tournament, live from Paul Gall Memorial Gymnasium. Schaus, Comort for three. Up, no good. Rossetto with the rebound. And there is Nick Tacone, matched up against Justin Schaus. Seth now working with the ball. Looking to go down low, nowhere to go with it. Finally is able to pat Doyle, who is fouled by Comort, and going attempting to go for the steal.
You know, that's probably not a bad foul for McDowell to take. They want to set up their defense early and let Harbor Creek know they're going to play them aggressively.
Again, the big men down low for the Huskies. Andy Ressinger, number 15-3, and Jason Rossetto. Rossetto there with the ball, looking underneath for Tacone. JJ D'Alessandro comes away with it. Gets it over to Schaus. Schaus dicing inside, off glass, no good. Caldwell able to knock into the hands of Schaus. Back out. Comort thought about the three. Said going over to D'Alessandro. Moving the ball across to Grieshover. Harbor Creek, a big team, going with that 2-3 zone. Grieshover on Rossetto. Schaus looking to drive inside. Nothing doing there. Inside to Grieshover. Grieshover takes a shot. D'Alessandro gets his man up. Over to Caldwell, and the travel call going to be on number 52, Mike Caldwell. Trojans, that's what they're going to want to do. Ball movement, use their quickness to take away that Harbor Creek height advantage. There's Tacone with the ball handling. Move the ball across. Doyle with it, back out to Seth. Seth with D'Alessandro on him. Back to into Rosetto. And we're going to have an offensive foul going to be on number 42, Jason Rosetto, the 6'11 senior for Harbor Creek. Going to call a push on the play.
Jason Rosetto, that's his first team foul number 1.
6:10 remaining here, first quarter, live on Channel 16. Jason McKay and Mark Thorpe on the call for you. McDowell Trojans and Harbor Creek Huskies, game 2 of the McDowell McDonald's tip-off tournament. Winner of this matchup will meet Grove City tomorrow in the championship matchup at 7:30. Flipped in the air, Rosetta finally coming away with the loose ball. He'll give it to Tacone. He'll set up the offense. Again, a great matchup, Tacone against Justin Schaus, 2 premier point guards in this area. Knocked out of bounds by J.J. Del Sandro. Cross court to Doyle. Seth now with him, gets it back over to Cone. To Cone for 3, up, no good. Del Sandro with the rebound. Del Sandro and Schaus pushing up court. Blocking foul going to be on Tacone. Del Sandro will go to the line for 2.
Foul number 2.
Del Sandro to shoot 2. First one is up and good.
This is still good stuff. This never watched you and Grandpa going down to South Carolina.
Second is good also. McDowell taking the first lead of the ball game, 2-0. Trojans full court pressure. Going to be a foul on the backcourt. It's going to be on number 44, Jeff Grieshober.
Foul number 2.
Rosetto inbounding it to Seth. Rosetto getting it back, bringing it across half court. Don't want the big man to be handling the ball, though. Seth with it. Stolen by Comork. The Trojans have numbers if they push. Schaus ahead of the pack. Layup is good. And early on, Mark, the Trojans playing a great defense. They're not even allowing the big men for Harbor Creek to have the ball.
That's exactly it. McDowell playing outstanding defense and using their team speed.
And there we see Tacone. He's going to be called for the travel, trying to do too much by himself. Grieshober inbounding to Schaus will set up the offense. Trojans early on, 4:41 in the first with the 4-0 lead. Comork thought about the 3, knocked away by Seth and goes in the hands of Edding Ressinger. Give it over to Tacone and Harbor Creek with the ball. Seth with the shot, up and good. First points of the night for Harbor Creek, 2-pointer by Kirk Seth. Schaus down to Caldwell, back out to Schaus, drives in, kicks it out to Comork. Comork driving inside, out to Del Sandro. Del Sandro thought about the 3, around Rosetto, baseline jumper, no good. And off of a Harbor Creek player, not sure which one, believe it might have been Rosetto. Or excuse me, no, off Grieshober. It will be Harbor Creek ball. Tacone, cut off by Caldwell. Seth over to Doyle. Inside to Rosetto, they're going to call over to back, how hard it may be, over to back on Jeff Grieshober. And early on, that's his second.
McDowell fouls on number 44, Jeff Grieshober, his second. Team foul number 3.
You see Coach Pete Flynn as another name that may sound familiar, Mike Schott, younger brother of Robbie from years back, entering the game.
Mike Schott into the lineup for the Trojans.
Tacone gathering the ball. Will now set up the offense for the Huskies. Over to Seth, stripped away by Del Sandro, and Seth takes it right back. Rosetta with the ball, over to Tacone. Tacone for 3, up, off the front of the iron, no good. Schott with the rebound, and they're going to call a foul on Harbor Creek. Believe it's going to be on Seth.
If I'm Harbor Creek, I don't want Rosetto out there at the top of the key too often.
There you see Coach Mike Pisano expecting many things from this year's squad of Harbor Creek Huskies. Inside, Mike Caldwell losing the grip, gets it back out to DeSandro, over to Schaus. Schaus using his speed, cutting inside, circus shot, no good. Schott with the rebound, swatted away by Rosetto, but out to Kamork. Kamork's 3, no good. Rebound by Seth. Early on, Trojans not being able to get those perimeter shots to fall, and they're going to need that to keep into this ball game. Knocked away by Schaus, but Tacone regains. Inside, they're going to call a blocking foul on Mike Schott.
McDowell foul on number 55, Mike Schott. His first, team foul number 4.
Coach Pisano wanting the shooting foul. Huskies will inbounds from the baseline though. Seth in the Rosetto. Good defense by Caldwell. Rosetto's shot no good. Rebound by Kamork. Over to Del Sandro. Back up top to Schaus. Bounce pass over to Kamork. Inside, shot. Up and no good. Falls out. Caldwell looking to knock it away, but Rosetto coming away with the rebound. Tacone driving inside. Shot no good. Rebound Schaus. Pushing it up court. Finds Kamork open on the left side. Ball knocked away by number 33, Pat Doyle of the Huskies.
Good transition there by the Trojans. You saw the team speed. Kamork was out in front of everybody.
Del Sandro to inbounds. Trojans again looking for that open shot, trying to break the zone defense of the Huskies. Del Sandro thought about the 3, pulls it back down. Kamork inside Caldwell, over to Schott. Schott, nice basket underneath by Mike Schott. His first 2 points of the evening. Trojans leading now 6-2, and we're down to 1:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Tacone trying to go in for Resinger. Caldwell steals it. Schaus over to Del Sandro, up and good. And the Trojans lead 8-2, 20-second timeout by Harbor Creek and Mark. Excellent job so far. The Trojans just under a minute left. 6-point lead, and J.J. Del Sandro 4 points early on, but it's been the Trojan defense that's been surprising.
Yeah, the Trojans are stuck to their game plan, really stepping it up. They haven't given Rosetto a real good chance with the ball, and even when he got the ball, Caldwell was there with his hands in his face. So McDowell doing an excellent job on defense, and they are running the floor a lot faster than Harbor Creek, and that's what the 6-point lead is. It's just that team speed.
Mike Curtis now into the ball game for J.J. Del Sandro. Harbor Creek still with their starting lineup. Rosetto to inbounds. Tacone setting up the offense. Finally get it to Reslinger. First time he's touched the ball tonight. Tacone inside, nowhere to go. Over to Doyle. Guarded closely by Komorek, knocked in the air. Mike Curtis, senior from McDowell, comes away with the ball. He rushes up court, nowhere to go. Hands off to Caldwell, over to Schaus. Baseline jumper, up and good. Seth rushing up court, kick ball away. Harbor Creek keeping possession. Now in number 34, Jamie Kuhn. And Dan Sprinati into the game for the Trojans. Justin Schaus taking a seat. 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Huskies maybe thinking going a little bit smaller and combat that McDowell quickness. Tacone guarded by Curtis. There's Doyle for three. No good. That ends the first quarter of play. And the score, a very low one at that. The McDowell Trojans 10, the Harbor Creek Huskies 2. We'll be right back here on Channel 16 with more live coverage of McDowell Trojan basketball and the 1998 McDowell McDonald's Tip-Off Tournament. Stay with us.
Perfect score in mathematics honors division.
A place like Asbury Woods is a community asset. It's a community resource.
You've met a great challenge to finish your high school education.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just about set to get the second quarter of play underway here. The McDowell Trojans and Harbor Creek Huskies at the McDowell McDonald's Tip-Off Tournament. I am Jason McKay. Joining me again this evening is Mark Thorpe. And Mark, just looking back on the first quarter of play, the Trojans coming out have done an excellent job so far, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah, it's been a great all-around game for the Trojans. You know, only 10 points to show for it, but they have just completely shut down the Harbor Creek offense. And their offense is just running the floor magnificently right now.
Seth inbounds to Tacone. New man in the ball game is Jamie Kuhn, number 34. Rosetto with the ball. Rosetto driving inside. Back over to Kuhn. Kuhn jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound Doyle. He puts it back up the glass and in. 10-4 Trojan lead. 7:34 remaining here in the second. Looking inside to Caldwell, loose ball. Huskies will come away with it. Tacone setting up the offense. Jumper by Seth, no good. Kuhn able to save it to Rosetto. Rosetto, turnaround jumper, up and good. First points of the evening for the big man of Harbor Creek, Jason Rosetto, the 6'11 senior. Schaus now with the ball, guarded by Seth. Over to Curtis. Huskies still in that zone defense. Curtis over to Del Sandro. Trojans being very patient, looking for that open shot. It's worked for him so far. Inside to Shot. Finding Caldwell. Out to Curtis. Over to Schaus. Schaus for three. Up, in and out. No good. Rebound into the hands of Rosetto. Tacone guarded by Curtis. Foul going to be on number 4, Mike Curtis, his first.
Number 5.
Seth inbounds to Tacone. Inside Rossetto. Rossetto turnaround jumper, no good. Pulled down by D'Alessandro, he gets it to Schaus. Schaus looking to run. All the way end to end, up and good. Schaus now with 6 points on the evening. Harbor Creek pushing back. Stolen away from Schaus as he got back on defense. Pushing the ball up court, Justin Schaus, reckless abandon, up and good. Schaus will go to the line. Two incredible plays by Justin Schaus, and we've grown to be just see it all the time, mainly by Schaus. Great job right there.
He's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. He just ran up and down the court, and nobody could catch up with him, especially Rossetto, who he just beat straight out there.
And Annie Resinger back into the ball game for Rossetto. Comork also back into the ball game for Caldwell. And now 6'3" junior Kirk Seth heading over to the bench. Indication looks like there may be blood on his hand, and that's a stoppage of play. Number 23 for the Huskies, Ben Orengia, will step to the ball game. Seems like a cut on the right hand of Seth. Of course, anytime a player has any blood on jersey or body, high school basketball, they must immediately exit the game and have that properly fixed. Schaus at the line though, compete the three-point play. He does. That gives Schaus 9 points on the evening, and the Trojans a 15-6 lead. 5:50 remaining here in the second quarter. Ball nearly stolen. Full court pressure by the Trojans. Kuhn with the ball though. They go inside. Resinger up and in. Foul. He'll go to the line. Foul was on number 24, Dave Comork. It's Comork's second of the evening. Riesinger's shot is up and good. Cuts the McDowell lead to 15-9, 5:35 remaining here. Second quarter of play live on Channel 16. Comork getting into the shot inside to Schaus, posting up his man. Schaus circus shot again. This one doesn't fall though, and Orengia comes down with the ball. Give it over to Tacone to set up the offense. Good defense by Mike Curtis, the 5-second call. Excellent defense, that's all I can say. D'Alessandro now taking over the ball duties for the Trojans. Off to Curtis. Cross court to Comork. Right now you can see the Trojans working with 4 guards. Comork, D'Alessandro, Curtis with the shot. In and out. Up to Tacone. Tacone. Leaner, no good. Shot coming away with the rebound. Coach Bassano of Harbor Creek wanting the call on the foul. Shot inside around Resinger. Again, we've seen the Trojans do it. They're using that speed to get around the taller Harbor Creek Huskies. Orengia trapped, and a timeout was called by Harbor Creek. 20-second timeout. Score 4-12 in the second quarter. McDowell up 17-9. And so far, Mark Thorpe, again, an impressive job, especially on the defensive end by the Trojans. Harbor Creek unable to get the ball down to their big men. It's just a great job they're doing.
Yeah, McDowell has really taken the big men away, which really surprises me, but they're also passing the ball well in the offensive zone. They're getting 4 or 5 passes before they take a shot. Harbor Creek just isn't putting enough pressure on McDowell. on defense, and McDowell is really doing a great job on defense, limiting Harbor Creek.
I think another thing, McDowell with the smaller lineup much quicker, it's forcing Harbor Creek to take out their two big men, only have one in there at a time, either Rosetto or Risinger. You can't have both in there with this McDowell offense, though. Tacone has the ball knocked away from him. A good attempt to save the ball by Jamie Kuhn, but he was out of bounds. Rosetto now checking back into the ball game for Orengia.
And right there, you saw Tacone couldn't go anywhere without two Trojans being right there to guard him.
Kirkstead back to the ball game. Harbor Creek going to those two big men again. We'll see what the Trojans do offensively. Schaus cross court. Curtis thought about the three. Over to Dosandro, over to Komorek. Kuhn going for the steal, but Dosandro still controls. Komorek inside. Grieshober knocked away from him, and Trojans will keep possession. Mike Caldwell back into the ball game for Mike Curtis. Dosandro inbounds. Komorek for three, up and good. Trojans now up 20-9, 3:20 remaining here in the second quarter of play. 1998 McDowell McDonald Tip-Off Tournament live here on Channel 16. Of course, the winner of this matchup will face a very tough Grove City team tomorrow in the championship game. And also, nice play there. Tacone, another foul on him. Justin Schaus taking the charge.
Schaus just kind of was catapulted backwards there. You got to call that a foul.
Early on, second foul on Tacone. That is key. He is their floor general for the Harbor Creek Huskies, and right now they're having enough trouble getting anything going offensively.
Yeah, I mean, they need Tacone and Rosetto to really step up here and take control of the team and get some points on the board before the end of the second quarter.
Caldwell out to Schaus. Schaus driving in. Back outside to Dosandro. Dosandro for three. Up, no good. Tacone tracks down the loose ball. Up court in front of Schaus. His shot is no good. Rebound Dosandro running with Schaus. Over to Schaus. Up, then down. Foul is going to be on Tacone. Schaus will go to the line to shoot two. And Pat Doyle re-entering the ball game for Nick Tacone. Key right there, that's Tacone's third foul. We still got 2:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Schaus was in the act of shooting. He'll shoot two. First is off the mark. Second, also off the mark, so Schaus not able to capitalize. Huskies, but Schaus there right on defense, able to pick away the bounce pass, rush it back up court. Inside, moving around, he's going to draw another foul. Something we've grown to Justin Schaus and his reckless abandon.
And that's the thing. Trojan fans have a whole nother year of this absolutely great player. As you saw right there, he missed the free throws. What's he do? He makes up for it by going and getting the turnover, and he's right back at the line again.
On number 34, that's Jamie Kuhn, his second. Justin Schaus back at the line, shooting two for McDowell.
Foul on Jamie Kuhn, his second. Schaus, first of two, no good. Mike Curtis set to check in for Schaus if he's able to capitalize on this free throw. Up and good. Seth over to Rosetto, back up to Kuhn. Seth will reset the offense. Kuhn inside for Resinger. Hands it off to Rosetto. And they're going to call a foul on the play. A few fans wanting the jump ball call made. And that'll put us in the 1-and-1 situation. Foul on number 52, Mike Caldwell, his first of the evening. Jason Rosetto at the line for a 1-on-1. First is up and good.
Mike Schott back in the lineup for the Trojans.
Mike Schott back in the ball game for Jeff Grieshober. Second is good also. Makes our score 21-11. 2:10 remaining here in the second quarter. Mike Curtis gives off to J.J. Del Sandro. Underneath to Mike Caldwell. Caldwell out top to Curtis. Over to Kamork. Kamork, another three attempt. No good. Rebound by Seth. Over to Doyle. Doyle back to Rosetto. Rosetto, long attempt. No good. Resinger able to get the rebound. Can't capitalize. Loose ball. Dave Kamork comes out with it. Behind the back. Good dribbling. Able to set up the Trojan offense. Curtis in the corner. Down to Schott. Schott looking to drive baseline. Nothing there. Long pass over the half-court line, over and back for the Trojans. Harbor Creek will regain possession. Kuhn looking to go inside for Resinger. Instead goes outside to Rosetto. Rosetto in for Resinger. Foul on the play, but before the shot. Looks like it'll be on number 52, Mike Caldwell. If so, that would be his second.
McDowell foul on number 52, Mike Caldwell, his second.
That McDowell defense, they're keeping 3-4 guys down around the basket trying to get the rebounds, and that time when Harbor Creek cleared out, they left Caldwell one-on-one with Resinger.
Justin Schaus re-entered the ball game, and Matt Amon, 5'11" junior for the Trojans, into the ball game, number 50. First half of the 1-on-1 is good. Resinger's second is no good. Rebound by Amon. Schaus pushing the ball up court. Down low to Amon. Amon out to Schaus. Moving the ball around. Get over to Curtis on the left side. Amon in the corner. Knocked away by number 30. That's Kirk Seth. Trojans still regain possession.
You got to hand it to this Harbor Creek defense. They're starting to step it up here at the end of the second quarter.
Trojans just tried to expand that zone defense of the Huskies. Curtis, three, right corner, good. Seth being guarded by Schaus. Gets it underneath the Doyle, over to Resinger. Up, no good. Resinger go to the line to shoot two. It's the 9th team foul for the Trojans. Resinger will shoot two. 34 seconds remaining here in the second quarter of play. Score: McDowell Trojans 24, Harbor Creek Huskies 13, live on Channel 16. Resinger makes them both, cuts the lead to 10. Down to 30 seconds. Trojans content probably on holding the ball for the last shot of the half. go to the locker room with a marginal lead. Huskies 2-3 zone. Schaus looking to penetrate over to Comoric. Right side. Thought about the three. Down to Amon. Amon. Piece of it by Rossetto. Curtis with 3 seconds left. Shot is no good. And that sounds the buzzer. After 1 half of play, our score, the McDowell Trojans 24, Harbor Creek Huskies 14. Mark Thorpe, your impressions of the first half.
McDowell came out and did exactly what they wanted. They ran the floor and they played great defense. Rossetto and Resinger really haven't made that much of an impact on the ball game. Look for Harbor Creek to get them more involved here in the second half.
Just taking a look at the scoring, leading scorer for the Trojans, Justin Schaus, 10 points on the evening so far. Added up there also J.J. D'Alessandro with 4, Mike Curtis with 3, along with Dave Comoric also with 3, and Mike Schott with 4. On the side of Harbor Creek, most of their scoring coming from Andy Resinger, and his shooting from the free throw line. He has 6 points on the evening. Jason Rossetto pouring in for himself. And again, as we go to the half, just real quick, really impressive job of the McDowell Trojans defense so far in this first half. We did not believe that they would force Harbor Creek to play the type of ball game, but they are.
Yeah, I mean, McDowell has to keep that team speed up in the second half, or they're going to watch that 10-point lead just go away.
Again, our score at the half of the second game of the McDowell-McDonald's tip-off tournament. The McDowell Trojans, the host team, leading the Harbor Creek Huskies 24-14. We'll be back with the second half right here live on Channel 16.
Hi, I'm Burl Salmon, and it's my high privilege to serve the 50,000 residents of Mill Creek Township as superintendent. The schools in Mill Creek serve 7,500 students from daycare to kindergarten through grade 12. We also transport and provide other services to over 2,000 students in the private schools. The schools in this place called Mill Creek are truly unique. As I see the staff and students of this district at work, I realize they are already into the 21st century. Our goal is not to prepare students to live in the 21st century, but rather to lead it. Mill Creek has been for 2 decades the international leader in the use of high technology in its schools. Bell Valley was the first totally networked school in the world. Tracy School opens this fall as the most advanced elementary school on the planet. All Mill Creek schools have enjoyed comprehensive access to computers, and students at all schools enjoy the same high-quality instructional program, solidly grounded in the 3 R's, the arts, sciences, and the American way of life. We believe in our students and provide student support teams in every school system to help them along the course of their learning. But we also believe in zero tolerance for bad actions and have tough disciplinary policies which we enforce. I'd like to share with you the credo written by staff from the school district a number of years ago. True today, and it's our commitment to our public. Quality in the Mill Creek School District is perceived as continuous improvement of the process to bring each student and each employee to his or her maximum potential. We provide an environment which nurtures, compliments, and challenges students and employees to perform at a world-class level of competency. Our objective is to continuously improve the satisfaction of the people who depend on what we do, our internal and external customers. The Mill Creek School District staff worked together and ended up winning the Tri-State Quality Award. The school district has been dubbed by one of Pittsburgh's leading newspapers as being the leader in computer technology in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Mill Creek was the subject of a National Alliance of Business book, along with Motorola and Federal Express. The book focused on using quality and quality principles in a school setting. Mill Creek School District is part of a National Science Foundation funded longitudinal study over time of 8 of America's leading quality school systems. Over 30 business, industry, and school partnerships exist in this school district. About 350 business, college, and citizen advisors serve our school district on our Customer Advisory Council. And we have one of these for every department in the school system. Such practices ensure that a Mill Creek education is in line with the real world. Now, in the area of sports, Mill Creek has never been seen as a slouch. 21 varsity teams year after year consistently average a winning record of about 75% wins. But win, lose, or draw, I hope you enjoy the Channel 16 coverage of this game, our In Focus news show, and our coverage of a whole range of school topics. Finally, let me put in a plug for our Mill Creek School Alumni Association. There are tens of thousands of old Mill Creek High School and Mill Creek McDowell High School alumni in a network which spans the world. Call the Education Center to learn more about it. Thank you, and it's always a privilege to talk about Mill Creek schools.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Paul Gall Memorial Gymnasium, live right here on Channel 16. About a minute or so away from starting the second half, the McDowell Trojans with the lead, 24-14 over the Harbor Creek Huskies. Recapping some scoring of the first half for Harbor Creek Huskies. First, Andy Resinger, 6 points. Jason Rossetto with 4. Pat Doyle and Keith Seth each chipping in 2 for the Trojans, 14. On the side of the Trojans, Justin Schaus leading the way. He has 10. J.D. Del Sandro, Mike Schott, each with 4, and Dave Komorik and Mike Curtis, each with a 3-pointer for their points this evening. Mark Thorpe, just a few seconds actually before second half begins. Your anticipation of the second half of play, what must happen for the Trojans to come away with a victory tonight?
Well, they got to do what they did in the first half. If they keep Rossetto and Riesinger off the boards, keep the ball out of their hands, the Trojans can run this floor all they want. They'll score all the points they want. They'll win. Problem is, Harbor Creek is going to come out and figure out how to stop that. And that is to get the ball to Rossetto and Riesinger and let them go to work underneath. They have the height advantage. Now it's time to start using it. The Trojans can keep the ball away from Rossetto and Riesinger. They stand a great chance of winning here tonight.
Always easier said than done, though.
Always easier said than done.
Grease Hober to inbounds to start off the second half of play. Justin Schaus will set up the Trojan O. Del Sandro pass knocked out of bounds by Jamie Kuhn of Harbor Creek. Into Komorik, being guarded by Kuhn. Schaus over to Del Sandro. Del Sandro thought about the 3, instead passed it up. Goes over to Komorik. Again, as we saw in the first half, Trojans very patient, moving the ball around, looking for the shot. Justin Schaus just inside 3-point line. No good, brought down by Kuhn. Harbor Creek, their first possession of the second half. Stolen by Del Sandro. Trojans have numbers if they push. Del Sandro takes it himself. They're going to call a blocking foul. And if that's on Nick Tacone, that'll be his 4th.
It's on Tacone.
Harbor Creek foul is on number 15, Nick Tacone.
It is on Nick Tacone, and that'll be his 4th foul. Just the start of the third quarter, and he'll have to take a seat. J.J. Del Sandro at the line. He'll shoot 2. And Ben Orengia.
You're crazy. I didn't say that.
Is set to check in, but they're going to make Tacone stay in the ball game until this shot attempt. That really hurts Harbor Creek right now for Tacone to be out of this ball game with 4 fouls at just the start of the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it really works on so many levels because now he can't play defense aggressively. They got to take him out of the game, and you really need him in the game coming down the stretch.
Orengia, number 23, checking into the ball game for Tacone. Del Sandro's 2 are good. Rossetto having trouble getting the ball in. Finally to Orengio. Orengia being pressured by Schaus, gets it away to Kuhn. They're going to call a blocking foul on Del Sandro. Kuhn was driving towards the hoop.
McDowell foul is on number 33, J.J. Del Sandro, his first, team first.
Schaus knocking the ball into the air on the inbounds pass, but it was out of bounds. Harbor Creek will keep possession. Again, though, that tough defense of the Trojans, we've seen it all night, and they don't seem to be letting down. Looking inside for Resinger, into the hands of Arengia, over to Kuhn. Kuhn's shot no good. Kamork coming away with the loose ball. Gives it to Del Sandro, sets up the offense. Over to Schaus. Grieshover back out top to Schaus. Lost the handle for a second. Regains it. Over to Kamork. Thought about the three. Grieshover out top to Schaus. Schaus drives. Dishing off to Caldwell. Nowhere to go. Back out to Del Sandro. Del Sandro over to Caldwell. Over to Schaus. Schaus driving in. Nowhere to go there. Foul call going to be on Harbor Creek. Push on number 23, Ben Arengia.
Harbor Creek foul, number 23, Ben Arengia.
It's a good offensive possession there for the Trojans, just passing the ball around. That'll wear down the Harbor Creek defense too down the stretch.
Knocked away from behind by Arengia. Kuhn able to fall on the loose ball. Now we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow points to the side of the Trojans. Another key, just noticing here, Kirk Seth, 6'3" junior for Harbor Creek, did a lot of the ball handling earlier in the first quarter. Still not in the ball game, has an injured wrist. Do not know if he will re-enter. Inbounds pass out of bounds on Harbor Creek. Trojans will gain possession. 5:47 remaining here in the third quarter. 26-14 in favor of the Trojans. Knocked out of bounds by the Huskies. Grieshover to inbounds, so get it to Del Sandro. Across midcourt. Grieshover inside to Caldwell. Caldwell out to Kamork for three. Shot is no good. Resinger with the rebound. Schaus knocking the ball away from Arengia. Schaus going up for the layup. It's good. 12 points on the night for Schaus. Foul on the play. Looks like it's going to be on number 44, Jeff Grieshover of the Trojans.
Foul on number 44 from McDowell, Jeff Grieshover.
It is. That's his third. He'll take a seat. Mike Schott back into the ball game.
Returns to the lineup for the Huskies.
Also back into the game, Nick Tacone of the Harbor Creek Huskies. Remember, he has 4 fouls, but the Huskies are going to need him to lead the offense. Into the lane, ball in the midair. Trojans with numbers. Del Sandro leading the way. He'll go up. No good, and he'll go to the line. Foul on the play. Believe it's going to be on number 33, Pat Doyle. Timeout, Harbor Creek. 4:51 in the third quarter. Scores 28-14 in favor of the McDowell Trojans. And again, Mark, as we talked about, Harbor Creek really not able to get anything going on the offensive end, and that has to be credited to a solid Trojan defense just hounding the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Harbor Creek hasn't been able to get anything going. And when we mean anything, I mean that's anything. Trojans are just taking the ball away whenever they can. They're racking up the Harbor Creek turnovers right now, and the Trojans are playing great defense. They're out to a 14-point lead. They just need to not really kick back, but take the offense, move the ball around as they have been doing, and wait for the open shot. They'll get their points.
Another key I think we have to look at here, scores 28-14 in favor of the Trojans. And in all honesty, they have not been knocking down their perimeter shots. If they could have got hot early in the first half of the ball game, or even right now in the third, this game could be far out of reach, much like the Grove City game was earlier this evening.
And that could be a strategy of the Trojans coming out now, although they are running the floor very well when they do set up, try to get that outside shot.
Again, as we mentioned, Grove City Eagles over the Boardman Spartans earlier this evening in game 1 of the McDowell McDonald's tip-off tournament. They are in the championship matchup scheduled for approximately 7:30 tomorrow night. The winner of this game will meet Grove City. The loser will take on Boardman at 6 o'clock. We will carry both games again tomorrow night right here live on Channel 16. Del Sandro at the line. His first of 2 is good. Second, good as well. Tacone with the ball, triple team. Schaus comes away with it. Over to Schott. Schott, reverse layup is good. Stolen. Schaus comes away with the loose ball. Tacone down with it though, up the court to Resinger. Resinger layup is good. Trojans living and dying by that full court press. Schaus between 2 men, around another, off Rosetto's leg, into the hands of Del Sandro. Del Sandro back out top, thought about the shot, instead will pass. And we're going to have a foul on Harbor Creek after some fast-paced play.
And that faster pace probably favors McDowell as they have the better team speed. And right now, except for a few, they are making the great passes here in the offensive zone.
Foul's on Pat Doyle, number 33. Schaus. Excuse me, mark that number 34, Jamie Kuhn. Caldwell, his first shot of the night is short. Going for the rebound. Rosetta to inbounds. Gets it to Tacone. Score 32-16 in favor of the McDowell Trojans. 4 minutes remaining here, third quarter. Tacone's shot up, no good. Because he was fouled on the play, he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is going to be on Justin Schaus.
The foul is on number 11, Justin Schaus. His first. Team foul, number 4. Shooting 2. Nick Tacone.
First is up and good. Mike Curtis set to re-enter the game for the Trojans. Justin Schaus will take a seat. Also, Ben Arengia back into the ball game for Andy Resinger. Second is up and good as well for Tacone. His first points of the evening. Scores 32-18 McDowell. Harbor Creek full court pressure. Kamork wide open right side. Shot is up and good. Cohen's floater no good. And Mike Curtis and Jamie Kuhn fighting for the ball. Going to be a jump ball. It'll be in favor of the Trojans. Curtis across midcourt to Kamork. Kamork over to Schott. Schott up and good. Trojans lead 36-18. Errant pass, Del Sandro coming down with it. The Trojans have numbers. Del Sandro in, up and good. Shot is good, and he'll go to the line.
Foul on number 23, Ben Arengia.
Foul will be on number 23, Ben Arengia.
Team foul number 5.
Matt Amon back into the ball game for Mike Caldwell. And right now, Mark, just looking, 38-18, Trojans extending this to a 20-point lead, and it really has just been a continuous running off of some points against the Huskies, and right now, 38-18, very surprising score.
Yeah, the Trojans have just been able to run up and down. Harbor Creek is starting to run with them, though, here in the second half.
Blocking foul on Del Sandro. They're trying to draw another one from Tacone. Remember, he has 4 fouls leading this Harbor Creek offense.
For Harbor Creek right now, it's good to see Tacone still driving even with his 4 fouls. Seems we're getting a lot of perspiration on the floor tonight. I think that's the 5th time the towel's been out.
It has been a hard-played game on both sides for both the Huskies and Trojans this evening. Actually, both games have been very competitive. Matt Amon going for the steal there. Huskies will keep possession. Tacone over to Arengia. Back out top. I'm going to say over and back on the Huskies. McDowell will regain possession. Schaus back into the ball game for J.J. Del Sandro. Schaus through 2 defenders over to Amon. Amon inside the shot. Finds Schaus but wasn't able to hold on to it. Curtis at the top. Over to Kamork. Trojans resetting the offense. Down the shot. Over to Curtis. Curtis for 3. Up, no good. Schaus comes away with the loose ball. Inside to Amon. Amon nowhere to go. Back out top to Kamork. Trojans again. Very patient on the offensive end, looking for that good open shot. Shot to Amon. Amon. Going to be fouled by Rosetto. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And there was just nowhere for Rosetto to go there.
Matt Amon shooting 2 for
Amon second, up and good. His first points of the evening. Up to Jamie Kuhn, guarded by Kamork. They're going to call a foul on Kamork as Kuhn slipped.
McDowell foul on number 24, Dave Kamork.
That is Kamork's 3rd. Kuhn at the top of the key. Tacone. He'll shoot for 3. Off the mark, no good. Loose ball. Shot comes away with it. They're going to call a foul on, I believe it's number 34, Harbor Creek, Jamie Kuhn. And that will put Harbor Creek in the penalty. Trojans will be shooting 1-1. And that is Kuhn's 4th. So now Kuhn and Tacone each with 4 fouls. Mike Schott will be shooting the 1-1. First one is no good. Tacone with the rebound. Up court, knocked away. Rosetto over to Tacone to reset the offense. Shot up and good. Pat Doyle, his 2nd basket of the evening. Schaus over to Schott, back up top to Curtis. Being guarded by Eberlin just into the ball game. Amon's shot is off the mark, but Kamork tips it right back to him. Amon underneath, nowhere to go, out to Kamork. Kamork, open shot up, no good. Kamork grabs his own rebound. Cross baseline to Amon. Amon back out top. Curtis thought about the 3, didn't take it. Drives in the lane. and they're going to call foul. And if it's on Jamie Kuhn, that'll be his 5th.
Really some great ball movement there by the Trojans, and especially Curtis there faked out 3 guys.
Number 34, that's his 5th foul.
That foul is on Kuhn. That's his 5th. He is out of the ball game. Arengia re-enters for him. Also, Jason Rossetto taking a seat. Andy Risinger re-entering the ball game for the Huskies. 56 seconds remaining here in the third. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Mike Curtis. First is up and good. Makes the lead 20 for the Trojans, 42-20. Second off the back iron. Arengia comes down with the loose ball. Tacone to run the offense for the Huskies. For 3, up, no good. The rebound by the new Trojan in, Dan Sprenati. Sprenati bringing the ball up court over to Amon. Amon travel. 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, live on Channel 16. Doyle into Eberlin, being hounded by Curtis in the backcourt. Going to call blocking foul on number 55, Mike Schott.
McDowell foul on number 55, Mike Schott, the 5th second. He foul number 7.
Second for Schott.
Russ Eberlin at the line for the Huskies.
Russ Eberlin, 5'9" junior. Shooting 2 for the Huskies. Excuse me, that was a 1-and-1 situation. Shot is no good. Schaus coming away with the ball. Inside, they're going to call a charge on Justin Schaus. 24 seconds remaining for the Huskies here in the third quarter. Doyle into Eberlin. Looking to get into Resinger. Hard pass, and the Trojans will regain possession. 19 seconds left. Pete Flynn and the coaches calling for one shot and end this third quarter. Trojans down with a 20 point.
Wanted to run up the floor there, Jason. Just, you got to hold for that last second shot.
Schaus and inside shot is no good. A couple players going for the ball. Loose ball still, and Curtis can't get off a shot. So we end the third quarter of play with a little bit of a sloppy play. But the score is 40-20 in favor of the McDowell Trojans. Jason McKay, Mark Thorpe on the call for you. We'll be right back with the final quarter right here live on Channel 16. welcome back. Just about set to get the fourth quarter underway. The McDowell Trojans and Harbor Creek Huskies, game 2 of the McDowell McDonald's tip-off tournament. Right here live on Channel 16. Winner of this ball game will take on Grove City tomorrow night. The loser moves into the consolation game to take on Boardman.
Harbor Creek about in the same situation Boardman was in the first game. They got to put together a run here quick.
Start off the fourth, Ben Orengia for 3.
That would help.
Justin Schaus resetting the offense. Schaus shot up and good. That was a 3. Just no one on the zone defense there for Harbor Creek coming out to take Schaus. Curtis with a near steal. Doyle into Orengia. Knocked away from behind by Comoric. Harbor Creek will keep possession. Orengia up top to Tacone. Start up the offense. Tacone for 3. No good. McDowell regained possession, didn't even draw iron. Tacone up for the 2. Score 43-25 in favor of the Trojans. Rossetto back into the ball game for Resinger. Curtis shooting a 1-and-1 for the Trojans. First is no good. Tacone ready to start up the Harbor Creek offense once again. Over to Orengia. Orengia for 3. No good. Schaus with the rebound. Caldwell with the ball over to Comoric. Comoric wide open, didn't take the shot. Back out top to Curtis. Trojans content running some clock. Curtis inside, open jumper, good. Tacone up top there, Orengia, over to Eberlin. Orengia, 2, no good. Foul is on Dave Comoric. That is his 4th. Orengia will go to the line.
Orengia shooting 2 for the Huskies.
First is no good. Second off the mark also. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Trojans.
Second for the Trojans.
Mike Curtis back in for Dave Comoric. Trojans lead 45-25, 5:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. McDowell McDonald's tip-off tournament. And 10 seconds. Trojans could not get the ball past midcourt. Doyle into Tacone. Goes back outside. Doyle for three. Up and good. Huskies with some full court pressure. And McDowell using a timeout, 20-second timeout. Now, Mark, as we look at it, the Huskies putting together a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, the run starts with the Husky defense. The defense has stepped it up here. They're really playing much more aggressively than they were anywhere before in the game, and that's turning into wide open shots for three. Harbor Creek is controlling the ball a lot more here in the fourth quarter.
Trojans still with a solid lead, 45-28, 5:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter, but still plenty of time for the Huskies to get a run together and get back into this ball game.
Yeah, that's so important is right now for the Trojans not to fall asleep and to keep the pressure on.
Shouts down to Curtis. Curtis over to Shot. Shot hard to the hoop. Up and good. Mike Shot with 10 points on the evening. Down to Doyle. Shot going for the loose ball. Harbor Creek will keep possession. Everland inbounds. Orengia inside to Rosetto. Rosetto really been silent most of this second half. Doyle inside, a wild shot, up and good. Cuts the lead, 47-30 in favor of the Trojans. Shot with the ball, double teamed, over to Del Sandro. Cross court to Curtis, up for three. Good. And as we talked about, Mark, if the Trojans can knock down those perimeter shots, it would force the Huskies to go to a man-and-man and get out of that zone. Rosetto inside, hoop, and he will go to the line.
The Husky defense really is anchored around Rosetto being underneath the basket. And when he's just standing there and he won't come out from underneath the basket, Curtis can have the open three all day.
Team foul number 10, Jason Rosetto shooting one.
Rosetto's shot is up and good. Foul was on number 52, Mike Caldwell. That was his fourth. Shouts gets it across to Caldwell. Caldwell over to Curtis. Thought about another three, pulls it back down to DeSandro, back to Shouts. Inside to Caldwell, over to Curtis. Open baseline jumper, no good. Rosetto up for the rebound, had it taken away, and they're going to say was off of Mike Caldwell. Harbor Creek will keep possession. Rosetto long pass looking for Orengia. He finds him. Looking for Doyle inside. Caldwell coming away with the loose ball. Shouts rushing up court. Gets it across to Del Sandro. Del Sandro fouled on far side. Believe it's going to be on number 33, Pat Doyle. It is. That is his second. Del Sandro will shoot two. Both teams in the penalty, with each with 10 team fouls. They'll be shooting 2 the rest of the way. Sandro first is up and good. As is the second. Giving Del Sandro 12 points on the night. Comoric back into the ball game for Caldwell. Trojans lead 52-33. 3:40 remaining in the fourth. Rossetto looking for Eberlin on the pass. Fouled by Del Sandro. It's Del Sandro's third.
And one thing I noticed on that throw-in, Jason, was when he couldn't get the ball in, Rossetto kind of got upset, and he just can't be doing that. He's got to keep his head in the game because Harbor Creek needs him.
Eberlin's shot is no good. Now entering the ball game, number 21, Kurt Heidegger. Pat Doyle will take a seat. Eberlin's second is good. Trojans setting up the O. Trying to trap Schaus. He dribbles out of it towards the hoop. Off glass, no good. Rossetto with the rebound, and he's going to be fouled. It's going to be on number 55, Mike Schott. That is his third. And something I've noticed, Mark, the Trojans, it is a way to say it, they've been using their fouls smartly. A lot of them have 3. Comoric, I know, has 4. A lot of them have 2 or 3 fouls, but no one is really in a serious trouble. And when they have fouled, it's been a good usage.
Yeah, the fouls have been good. They've been shutting down Rossetto. In contrast, it's not like Tacone, who has 4 for really no reason at all. He needs to start stepping up and play good, but he can't do that when he's got 4 fouls and is on the bench.
Rossetto makes neither of the 2. Schaus cross court to Curtis. Curtis looked to dribble in. Rossetto came out. Curtis again down to Schott. Schott baseline jumper up and good. Schott now with 12 points on the evening. Tied for the team high with Del Sandro and Schaus. They each have 12 also. Schaus with the steal, but out of bounds. Foul going to be on Schaus. That's his third. Tacone to the line for 2.
Number 15, Nick Tacone.
2 for 2 from the line. Tacone with 6 points on the night. Trojans able to get it past half court. Shot. Looking to shoot and pass at the same time. Falls in the hands of the Huskies. Tacone setting up the offense. 54-36. 2:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Tacone down low to Rossetto. Rossetto turnaround jumper. Up and good.
Rossetto with the basket.
I actually like that last offensive play there for Harbor Creek. Letting Rossetto use his size and go up and get the ball, and he drew the foul.
And we're also going to have another foul on the play. There's going to be a foul on Dave Comoric for a push. That is true. That would be his 5th, and he would be out of the ball game. As we sort things out, the foul, there was a foul called on Comoric. That was his 5th. Mike Caldwell will replace him. As we still continue to get things sorted out here, I believe there is a timeout on the floor. The Trojans calling it a timeout. Our score, 54-36, favor of the McDowell Trojans. 2:21 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And the Trojans, really, Mark, we talked about it. Their defense has played great this evening. They've taken Renzinger and Rosetto out of the game. They forced Harbor Creek to play at the pace that the Trojans wanted to, and that's what has them out to this 18-point lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give all the credit for that 18-point lead to the Trojan defense. Right now they're getting into a little bit of foul trouble, but these are good fouls. They're not wasting their fouls. They're using them to keep the Harbor Creek offense in check. That's what's holding them out to this 18-point lead. Harbor Creek just needs to get Rosetto more involved, but it's looking really bad here down the stretch.
Maybe a little bit too little, too late here in the ball game. 2:21 again in the 4th, right here live on Channel 16. Jason McKay along with Mark Thorpe on the call for you. Again, join us tomorrow evening. We will have the consolation game at 6 p.m. Boardman of Ohio, the Boardman Spartans, in that game as they lost earlier this evening to Grove City, who the winner of this ball game will play at approximately 7:30 or so. Coach Pete Flynn hoping to get his team into that championship game once again, as the Trojans have won this tournament last year and all the way up since 1992, the continuous champions of the McDowell McDonald's tip-off tournament. So Rosetto shooting, I believe, a technical foul on the play. And now Ben Arengio will shoot his 2. First one is no good. Second is good. Schaus over to Del Sandro, back over to Schaus. Cross half court, looking to set up the offense over to Curtis. Trojans now 3 guards on the floor to control the ball. Now to Caldwell, over to Curtis, guarded by Rosetto. Dancing around, back outside to Del Sandro. Curtis again back in that corner, forcing Rosetto to come out to guard him. To move the ball around, back to Schaus. Again, back down the corner to Curtis. Rosetto has to come out. Good job by the Trojans moving the ball and getting the quick Mike Curtis, who can shoot from about anywhere on the floor. Pass underneath, kicked by a Harbor Creek player. Now, Mark, just looking at that matchup, it's Curtis on Rosetto. It works in either way for the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, the Trojans weren't really looking to shoot right there. Curtis, really one of the best passers that the Trojans have. It's really good, though. If Rosetto wants to stand underneath the basket, Curtis has the option to sit there and shoot or pass the ball off. Trojans are really eating up the clock by doing that.
1:37 remaining, 4th quarter, 54-40. Harbor Creek coming in with some substitutions. 32, Mike Semecki, and number 40, Mike Farham into the ball game. Rosetto is out, along with Tacone. So it looks here like the Huskies have conceded victory to the host McDowell Trojans. We're down to 1:15 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Del Sandro cross court to Schaus. Down to 50 seconds. Trojans just running the clock. Schaus double team. Del Sandro coming away with the loose ball, looking to pass, does to Schaus. Schaus over to Curtis. Coach Pete Flynn can hear him yelling, patience, patience. The Trojans are forcing Harbor Creek to foul.
Harbor Creek foul on number 10, Russ Everland, his first.
Fouls on number 10, Russ Eberlin. Mike Curtis to the line for 2. Again, at this moment, we'd like to thank the Mill Creek School Board, Dr. Verl Salmon, Superintendent of Mill Creek Schools, and the Mill Creek Township Supervisors for making these live broadcasts possible on Channel 16. Down to 10 seconds, Justin Schaus coming out with the ball. He will just hold on. Our final score will be the McDowell Trojans 55, the Harbor Creek Huskies 40. Hopefully we can get a few quick words with Coach Pete Flynn of the McDowell Trojans. And just recapping this ball game, just an excellent job overall by the McDowell Trojans. Must salute their defense. Just able to shut down the Harbor Creek Huskies. We talked about the big men that the Huskies had, and the Trojans were able to just use their team speed, good outside perimeter shooting, and come away with a victory here. Again, the final score 55-40. Justin Schaus, Mike Schott, and also J.J. Del Sandro, very impressive this evening, each with 12 points as our final records, of course, and unofficial scores. Again, hoping we get a few quick words with Pete Flynn. Again, looking to tomorrow, McDowell will be taking on Grove City, the championship matchup, the McDowell-McDonald's tip-off tournament. And also the consolation game, that's slated for 6 o'clock. That will be Boardman of Ohio. The Spartans taking on the team we saw here tonight, the Harbor Creek Huskies. And Mark Thorpe, again, just your reaction to the game that we saw this evening between the Huskies and the Trojans. We expected a much closer ball game.
Yeah, I really expected Harbor Creek to come out and use their size advantage. That didn't really happen. The Trojans were able to use their defense and just shut that down. Tomorrow night, though, we've got a good matchup in our in our championship game. It'll be Grove City and McDowell. That should be a good one. Two great defenses here tonight. Go at it tomorrow night.
I mean, just taking a little preview at that game, we see another big man going up against the Trojans from Grove City. But I think the one key there that we also see, it'll be the matchup of the pressure defenses. The Trojans went with the full court press tonight and worked very well for them with almost 3-4 guards at times. But another thing we saw was that we had the big men were able to be contained by the Trojans. So, I mean, good matchups all around for tomorrow night's championship game. And that's slated for about 7:30.
Yeah, Jason, I really didn't understand both teams that lost here tonight. Boardman and Harbor Creek, they didn't play the full court defense and it cost them the games. But we'll have great matchups tomorrow night.
All right, again, join us tomorrow night. Channel 16 will be on the air at about 6 o'clock. That's when tip-off is slated for the consolation game. That'll be Boardman of Ohio taking on the Harbor Creek Huskies. Then approximately 7:30, 7:40, around that area, the championship of the McDowell-McDonald's tip-off tournament. It'll be the host McDowell Trojans taking on the Grove City Eagles right here live on Channel 16. For Mark Thorpe, I am Jason McKay. Have a good evening.